Top 10 Most Obese Countries. The world is changing in every aspect, including the lifestyle and eating habits of people. One issue brought about by these changes is the issue of obesity. Obesity occurs when a person's body mass index BMI goes beyond 30. Conversely, overweight refers to the BMI of a person that is equal or beyond to 25. A person's BMI is their total weight in relation to the height of their body, with a normal BMI ranked at 18.5 to 24.9. Consequently, more than 2 billion people, which forms 30% of the population worldwide, are struggling with obesity. According to recent statistics, more than 3 million people every year die due to obesity. This condition poses other great dangers to an individual, such as the risk of heart problems, diabetes, and some forms of cancer. Many parts of the world are experiencing obesity at alarming rates. For this reason, we have taken the time to compile a list of the top 10 most obese nations in the world. 1. Nauru. The Republic of Nauru is an island country in the Central Pacific that boasts of a population of slightly over 10,670 people. In this smallest island nation in the entire world, obesity is seen as a symbol of status in the society and as a sign of success in life. According to research, more than 45% of the population in Nauru is composed of obese people. On the other hand, over 94% of the population is said to weigh more than a normal weight. Further still, more than 30% of the residents in this country are living with diabetes. Even the British Telegraph paper has described Nauru as the country that sees the lowest number of visitors and as the most obese nation on Earth, according to the latest report by the World Health Organization. So why are the people of Nauru obese? The problem apparently began after the nation gained independence, when the economy grew rapidly from mining activities. Due to high incomes then, Nauruans did not feel the need to work. Besides, Nauru's land is not arable, and since the residents can't grow their own food, they rely on Western food imports, which involve high amounts of fat and sugar. Also, there is a lack of physical exercise and adequate health education, as well as people's attitude towards obesity, contributing further to the situation. For this reason, Nauru experiences the highest case of obesity in the world. 2. Tonga. The Kingdom of Tonga is located in the southern Pacific Ocean and has a population of more than 100,000 residents. Research by the public health officials reveal that over 43% of the population of Tonga is living with obesity, which has resulted in the decrease of life expectancy from the mid-70s to about 64 years. Of the whole population, about 40% is suffering from type 2 diabetes. Quick fact: the late Tongan king, King Tuvalu, is the holder of the world record for being the heaviest king to ever live, with a record weight of 200 kilograms. Tonga's problem of obesity could be attributed to the cheap meat known as mutton flaps that is filled with fats which the locals import from New Zealand. In addition, second-rate turkey tails that are imported from the United States of America also contribute largely to Tonga's weight problem. As it appears, the Tongans are eating themselves to death. The eating habits of meals mainly composed of junk food, lacking vegetables and fruits, and an inactive lifestyle of the residents of the Pacific Island are the main factors driving the state deeper into obesity. 3. Samoa. The independent state of Samoa is another island country in the southern Pacific Ocean, whose population of over 195,000 residents is largely obese to an alarming extent of over 74%. Similar to the other obese states, Samoa's obesity is known to be as a result of malnutrition, which is mainly caused by the heavy consumption of processed foods that are low-quality grades imported from America. Secondly, Samoa lacks adequate education on the matter of obesity, which also results in the increase of overweight and obese people, as well as the resulting diseases. This means that Samoans don't understand the benefits of good eating habits or the advantages of keeping their bodies fit. According to some researchers, the people of the Pacific Islands could be genetically inclined to gaining more weight than people in the Western regions. However, we are not at liberty to confirm such a statement, as conflicting statements have also been indicated that the genetic inclination might not be responsible for the rapid increase in obesity across the Pacific Islands presently. Other reports blame the obesity of the island's population on the Western cultures for teaching them eating habits and cooking methods such as frying, which increases the chances of gaining weight. 4. Kuwait. The state of Kuwait is a country located in the western part of Asia at the northern edge of eastern Arabia. Surprisingly, this is the only country in our list of the top 10 most obese nations that is located outside the southern Pacific region. With a population of about 4 million citizens, research has shown that more than 42% of the population of Kuwait is living with obesity. Moreover, over 70% of the rest of the population is reportedly in the overweight category. For these reasons, Kuwait has been classified as the most overweight nation in the Middle East, with projections for obesity set to increase in the coming years. Consequently, the country also suffers from so many cases of diabetes and a very high number of surgeries for stomach stapling conducted to over 5,000 people every year. Like many other nations, the increase of obesity in Kuwait is linked to the fast foods that have become the eating habit of the population. In addition, the blame is also made on the lack of recreational amenities and activities that would help the body remain healthy. Kuwait has an average BMI of 30. 5. Marshall Islands. The Republic of Marshall Islands is an island country in the Pacific Ocean near the equator and an associate of the United States of America, with a population of slightly over 58,000 people. A survey conducted by specialists has shown that more than 62% of the residents of Marshall Islands were said to be overweight. This, combined with other health issues such as vitamin A deficiency, diabetes, hypertension, and heart diseases, creates a very big problem in the health department of this state. The weight problem of the population of Marshall Islands continues to worsen, like in many South Pacific countries, a problem which is attributed to the heavy reliance on imported foodstuffs to feed the citizens. Besides, the change in the lifestyle of the people is also a main contributing factor in the problem of obesity, as most people are not involved in active undertakings. Also, the lack of proper understanding of healthy eating habits and the management of body weight could be a concern leading to the overall problem of obesity. 6. Kiribati. The Republic of Kiribati is also one of the countries in the Central Pacific Ocean struggling with obesity. With a population of just over 110,000 people, 46% of this population, which is above the age of 20 years, is living with obesity, and a further 30% of the entire population struggling with type 2 diabetes. According to the World Health Organization, obesity in these states is the main cause of some of the chronic ailments such as cardiovascular diseases and diabetes, which have led to so many deaths in the population. Similar to other countries, this weight problem is attributed to poor feeding habits and a lack of incentives and amenities for physical exercise. Relying mainly on fast foods for meals is dangerous for health, and the lack of such health education could further lead to worsening of the situation. Kiribati also faces the challenge of accessing clean water, which is a very crucial resource for enhancing the livelihood of the people in the country, with less than half of the population unable to access sufficient clean water for daily routines and drinking. 7. Palau. Palau is formed by a group of 340 islands located on the west side of the Pacific Ocean and is home to more than 20,000 people. Due to the geographical formation of the islands, the country is greatly biodiverse and has beautiful features and landscapes. However, the country is facing an enormous challenge in its health section, which involves rampant and chronic obesity. It is estimated that about 78% of Palau's population is known to be overweight, with an alarming 47% declared to be obese. This means that more than 3/4 of the entire population is made up of fat people, which makes it a very serious cause of health problems. Consequently, the country experiences a large number of cases of type 2 diabetes, liver diseases, as well as heart diseases. Above and beyond that, various types of cancers are also on the rise among the people of Palau. All this can directly be linked to poor dietary plans and unfriendly environments in the Pacific. 8. Tokelau. Still in the Pacific region, Tokelau in the South Pacific Ocean is described as the second smallest country in the world, with a small population of slightly over 1,300 people. This small nation associated with New Zealand is burdened by both economical and social health challenges. Huge levels of obesity amounting to over 70% of the Tokelauan population, while another 50% are self-proclaimed smokers. This leaves a really small number of individuals leading a healthy lifestyle in this small state. Due to the restrictions of the budget, the country has no sufficient healthcare education, leaving most of the Tokelauans clueless on how they are supposed to handle the overweight and obese situation among themselves. The lack of adequate physical exercise and poor eating habits encouraged by fast foods further increases the risk. The citizens lack reasonable amounts of fruits and vegetables in their diets, which are essential in creating a completely healthy meal. From the statistics of Tokelau, it appears that the small country is facing an enormous health challenge, since due to its small population, only a few people remain healthy enough to function optimally. 9. Cook Islands. Also in the Pacific region, this self-governing nation is found in the south of the Pacific Ocean, with a collection of 15 islands containing a population of 15,200 residents. According to research, 90% of the population of Cook Island is overweight, with an estimated figure of the obese individuals known to hit 50% of the entire population. To further indicate the seriousness of the situation in Cook Islands, the children are also said to face the challenge of obesity, with over 30% of the children living with obesity. The country's Ministry of Health indicates a number of factors contributing to the obesity situation in the country that include behavioral, social, and economic factors. On a more positive note, the Health Ministry in Cook Island is known to make plans and initiatives to handle the situation by enhancing education systems on the value of nutrition in the schools in the country. 10. Tuvalu. Last but not least is another country also in the Pacific Ocean, region known as Tuvalu, with a population of slightly over 11,000 people. This country also faces the challenge of obesity, mainly as a result of malnutrition in both adults and children. Reportedly, more than 56% of women are living with obesity, while the percentage of men that are obese is 47%. Further, 24% of men and women in Tuvalu have diabetes, a chronic disease that is a result of excessive weight. This condition is projected to keep increasing over the coming years due to lack of education and proper initiatives to handle the prevailing malnutrition in the country. Obesity and overweight are two conditions that involve an abnormal accumulation of fat that poses a huge health risk to the individual. BMI is the measure of obesity and is calculated at weight kilograms divided by the square of the individual's height meters. A person with a BMI that passes 30 is considered to be obese, while a BMI of over 25 is considered overweight. Obesity leads to a number of diseases, including type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even cancer. Obesity may not be a big problem in developed countries as it was thought at first. As we have seen in this list, more developing countries are facing the challenge of obesity, which could be due to the influence of Western countries, bad eating habits, and a lack of understanding. On that note, it should be a personal goal for every individual to maintain their body weight to a manageable level. So when you look in the mirror and are not very happy with what you see, could you please make an effort of hitting the gym as soon as possible before it's too late?